world we're thrown, like a dog without a bone, an actor out alone, riders on the storm. There's a killer on the road, his brain is squirming like a toad. Take a holiday, let your children play. If you give this man a ride, sweet family will die. Killer on the road, yeah. Girl, you gotta love your man. Girl, you gotta love your man. Take him by the hand and make him understand. Our world on you depends, our life will never end. Gotta love your man. That's what I'm talking about right there. Riders on the storm, riders on the storm. Into this house we're born, into this world we're thrown, like a dog without a bone, an actor out alone. Riders on the storm, yeah. Riders on the storm, riders on the storm, riders on the storm, riders on the storm.
Men of honor, men of conscience, rise up. By Eugene V. Debs, if he were alive today. Brothers and sisters, the time has come to speak truth to power, for the hypocrisy of this age is deafening. We stand in the shadow of monstrous greed, where Democrats, Republicans, Green Party pretenders, and so-called socialists all bow at the same altar, the altar of profit and power. They tell us to pick a side, but they are all sides of the same coin. A coin minted in the blood and sweat of workers, in the despair of immigrants, and now, most horrifically, in the deaths of babies. The wars they wage are not for you or me. They are not for justice or freedom. They are for the riches of oil fields, the profits of hedge funds, and the dominion of empire. These wars are fought by poor men and women, sent to kill other poor men and women. And now, we see not wars, but genocide, wrapped in the banner of protection and security. From Gaza to Ukraine, from women and children bombed in their homes to immigrant families torn apart and locked away, this is not defense. This is not justice. This is murder, orchestrated by elites who sip champagne while mothers weep. America justifies these atrocities, claiming they keep us safe. Safe from whom? A nation like Iran? A people in Gaza? This is not safety, this is slaughter. We once condemned the horrors of genocide in Europe, and now some cheer for it in the Middle East. We once promised liberty for the oppressed, and now we jail women and children at our borders to feed the pockets of billionaires like Elon Musk and Donald Trump. The cries of laborers and immigrants are drowned by the sound of cash registers ringing. And where are our leaders? Silent. Where are the voices of so-called progressives? Absent. Where is the courage of those who claim to fight for the people? Nowhere to be found. Do not tell me to vote for Biden or Trump, Dr. Jill, or the socialists, when all of them have sold their souls to the machine. This is not a war between nations, my friends. This is a war of the top against the bottom. The rich versus the rest. The billionaire elites, regardless of party, have drawn the battle lines, and we, the workers, the immigrants, the mothers and fathers, the poor and oppressed, are the cannon fodder for their war of profits. I say to hell with their wars, their borders, their justifications for murder. I say to hell with their silence while workers die, while children starve, while families are torn apart. Men of honor, men of conscience, do not kill babies and call it strength. They do not imprison the innocent and call it justice. They do not exploit workers and call it freedom. We must call foul. We must call it what it is. Murder. Genocide. Exploitation. The machinery of capitalism and empire rolling over the most vulnerable among us while they lie to us about our so-called choices at the ballot box. I stand before you today, not as a Democrat, not as a Republican, not as a third-party dreamer. I stand before you as a man of the working class. A man of peace. A man who refuses to be silent while they rob us of our humanity and call it patriotism. This is not about left or right. It is about right and wrong. And until every leader on every side is held accountable for their complicity in the suffering of the masses, I will not rest. I will not vote for their puppets. I will not bow to their lies. I will speak the truth until my dying breath. Because, as I said a century ago, while there is a lower class, I am in it. While there is a criminal element, I am of it. And while there is a soul in prison, I am not free. Stand with me. Call them all out. Refuse their false promises and their bloody wars. Together, we can tear down the walls of division they've built between us. Together, we can reclaim our humanity from the clutches of the elites. Together, we can fight not each other, but for each other. Men of honor, men of conscience, rise up.
Or human, if that is what you hear. Good morning. Welcome back to the Trailer Park. I am Chanda-Masta, and this is Hello Monday. I did not make that. That was actually sent to Kit of Heartlands Media, and by a viewer who made it, and I liked it. I agree with it. None of us buy into the two-party paradigm bullshit, and come on, third parties have been a joke for a long frickin' time, and yeah, I've always liked, Debs, and that's a good AI. I thought it was good AI. Good morning. How is everybody? I see everybody filing in this morning. Boy, everybody's in a mood this morning. Are you guys cold out there? It's freaking cold here. It's like 31 degrees and freezing. Let me get the chat brought up. Very cool. Yeah, no, I didn't make it. I didn't, but I was tagged in it and I said I would use it. So there it is. Good morning, Kate. Kate's in the chat. How cold is it up there, Kate? Is it cold? It's cold here. And Driving Miss Macy's hanging out over at Beauty and the Boomer. Good morning. And Kate's over there too. Good morning, Steve. What's up? How is it? I sure wish Pasta would hold off on Monday mornings, but I'll just stay here. Yeah, Pasta's stomping on my time slot. Pasta knows I've had this time slot forever. Let's see. Driving Miss Macy, I got you. Kill Your E-Grade Gross. Good to see you. Steve Wolfbrand, did I get you? Popeye, yes, Popeye, you were first into the chat last night. I saw you as soon as I put it up. And let's see. Steve, good morning. Let's see who else is in here. Peace Dove. Hi, Peace Dove. And Natalie, you going to feed the kitties? I got a new kitty. I call him Handsome Prince. He's like a white kitty with Maine Coon. He showed up on the porch, and of course, I'm feeding him now. We had an all-out brawl yesterday morning with the cats, man. The female cats don't like each other, and the male cats don't like each other. And 6 o'clock in the morning, they tore the house down. Hey, Taco! Taco Kid from Alamo Town. Good morning. Happy Monday. Is everybody ready to go back to work and do their things? Mastermind's hanging out. Hey, Trailer Park buddies. Yeah, this is the Trailer Park Hangout for sure. Lady Alex. Good morning, Lady Alex. And who else am I missing in here? I think I'm catching everybody. I got Lady Alex. I got Steve. You guys are talking super fast, trying to keep up. Let's see who's hanging out on the other chats. God, my nose just will not quit running this morning. I took my super expensive Flonase and it didn't help one bit. Good morning, Go Start. Go Start's hanging out over on the Rumble. And on the Rockfin, we got Denver, Attaway, and Jim so far. We'll get started. You guys know more people will pile in. There's Salty. Hey, Salty's Digital Dive. What is up this morning? Yeah, I just didn't feel like pulling the freaking wig off this morning. It's hot. It's itchy. I ain't doing it. My hair is starting to grow back a little bit. It's kind of weird. It's really, really short, and it kind of glows almost blue because it's so white. When it grows out a little bit more, I will show you guys. So I'm waiting for the big, reveal. We'll do a big reveal. Hi, Grapentine. What's up this morning? Let's see. No, put me back in. I was just about to watch Trailer Park Pundit. I gotta tell you guys, these shows have been harder than shit to write since Trump took office. I don't know why. It just seems like there's a lack of interesting news. It's all shit we already have talked about and covered over and over and over. The Democrats are doing their normal TDS bullshit. The Republicans are doing their fucking hero worship of Trump. God, it just seems so old and a repeat of what we've been doing for the last 10 fucking years. And I'm trying to find you guys interesting stuff that everybody else isn't talking about, but we got to talk about it. So we'll get started here in a second. I still have the GoFundMe up if you guys want to help me. I haven't pushed the GoFundMe in a long time. I haven't even updated it in over a month. I was locked out for a while because, GoFundMe likes to do that. But we're almost halfway to the goal, and I can't thank you guys all enough for getting me this far. Because it's slowed down so much, I haven't been able to afford to get any of the medications that I need. I was on a whole bunch of, holistic, Finbin, those type, the ones we're not allowed to talk about over here on YouTube. And I had a PET scan done the week before last, and there is some good news in the PET scan. Some of the tumors have shrunken and are completely gone. But the main Hiller mass is still there, but it shrunk considerably. And my doctor canceled all of my future immunotherapies. So I don't know what that means. My oncologist did. But I'm going to see my radiation doctor on Friday. So I don't know if they want to do more radiation to try to see if we can target it. The goal is to try to get what they call NED, which is no evidence of disease, which with what I've got, That's a hard stretch. I'll probably not get there, but it is encouraging. I am feeling a little bit better. Every day I feel a little stronger. Every day I feel like I can get up and do a little bit more. I get crippling hot flashes, and then I freeze. I freeze so bad I have electric throw that I have to wrap myself up in. So, I have my good days, I have my bad days, but now we're looking at the holistic treatments, the ones that I pushed off because I wanted to do what the doctors asked, which has helped. It's helped a lot because, I had that sodium deficiency. That's what put me in the hospital in the first place. And it's really, I was taking 9 sodium pills a day. I'm down to 4. So it did help slow down the sodium deficiency. So that's a good thing. And now that has passed, I would like to start looking into some holistic stuff, hyperbaric chamber treatments, those type of things. But I need your help to get there. So if you want to hit the GoFundMe, here's the bad thing about the GoFundMe. Since Trump took office, he's kicking everybody off EBT. Yes, that's right. Even if you've only been on a couple of months, they sent out reviews to everybody in the country at the beginning of January, and they're just checking everybody. And they've raised the criteria to qualify for food in this country. At this time, when prices are as insane as they actually are and wages are as low as they are kicking people off. So you either have to be actively looking for work, which means, you have to report in so many times a week and show them where you've applied, blah, blah, blah. Or you have to be working, which is funny because if you're working, you don't fucking qualify. I mean, I think if you make less than maybe 10 hours a week, maybe you might qualify for $15 or something. Or you have to be under 54 or over 54 years old. Under 54, you have to be looking for a job, working, or go back to school. Those are your options to get food assistance in the United States at this point. Yes, the laws changed at the beginning of the year, which booted me off, which I've only been on for a couple of months. I've never qualified. But now that I have, terminal cancer, I did qualify for a couple of months, but I will no longer qualify. So if you guys want to help me out, you guys know the link is down below in the description box. And I just thank you guys so much for everything you've done that has gotten me this far. I'm very thoughtful about how I use this money. I feel guilty, oh no, I can't buy myself anything with this. It's got to go to medicine or, gas for a doctor's appointment, that type of thing. So I'm very responsible with it. And I just can't thank you guys enough. But there's other ways to help me out. You guys can hit my PayPal or my Venmo or my Cash App. There also is a Buy Me a Coffee. Or, of course, PayPal. PayPal limited donations on Saturday night. What the hell? Shoot yourself in the foot. YouTube. Why would you do that? YouTube didn't make sense to me. Anyways, thank you guys so much. That was my ask, and it is over. Let's get moving on with the show. Fair use. We are on YouTube, and they don't like a lot of what I have to say. So, therefore, I'm suppressed in the algorithm. Make sure that you are still subscribed and that you ring that bell so you get notification when I go live, even though I don't even get notification when I go live. And thanks for following. Just make sure. Anyways, disclaimer, everything I talk about are my opinions and my opinions only. If you're interested in anything that I'm talking about, I merely scratch the surface. Please go out there and do your own research because, reading, like Jimmy Dore says, is so terrible and bad. Good morning, Bella Lugosi. Good to see ya. Okay, you guys, guess what? It's still January. What the hell? How long is this damn month gonna last? I wish it would just end. Next week is still January. How many months does this month have? And wow, what a year. It's only January. Yeah. Every year we say this about January. Please just go away. It's freaking cold. I look at my yard. I want to go out. I want to work in it. Who's thinking about their garden already? I am. I'm planning on going garden crazy this year. So I'm already planning out when should I start my starts and how do I battle the cats and keep the cats out of my starts. That's always, now that I've turned into a kitty refuge in the last couple of months. I don't know why I'm collecting cats, guys, but I am. And I love it. I love every minute of it. They are a blast. Anyways, let's get this show started. Did you guys see? Did you watch football yesterday? You guys know I was a big time football fan for many years. I even beat Mr. Craig Pasta-Jardula at fantasy football, and I gave it up. I gave football completely up in 2021 maybe. I just saw it for the military industrial complex tool that it is. I absolutely believe it's freaking scripted and rigged. And that is my whole life of watching football. Anyways, yesterday was the final playoffs. Who's going to the Super Bowl? Well, we now know it is the Philadelphia Eagles and the Kansas City Chiefs. Oh, no shocker there. The Chiefs go every fucking year, right? I guess that honors my mother-in-law. Anyways, here's a little video of Philadelphia last night after the win. They were so loud and so crazy, they woke up the junkies on Kensington Avenue. I'm not even kidding. Come on, where's my mouse? There we go. Oh no, you're not supposed to move. You're supposed to play. Philly fans are crazy. Look at that. You know, I've been in Philly with that amount of people before. Right there. Actually, in that exact spot. And, yeah, pretty freaking crazy last night. Congrats to all the teams going. Congrats to all the fans that are having a blast with this. You know, I know. I used to, you know, I'm a Seahawk fan. Always have been since the day I was born. And, I got to go to our parade and, you know, big Super Bowl frickin' party. And it was the most insane thing that I've ever been to in Seattle. I got to tell you, there were so many people in downtown Seattle that year or for that rally. They're coming home that, you couldn't get cell service. There was something like 7,000 of us on the ferry coming across that we had, armed guards like in Zodiacs in front of us with M60s on the front of the boat because they were afraid of a terror attack. Like, it was crazy. It was insanity. There was so many people you couldn't even get uptown. Like, we tried and we just like gave up after a while. We ended up in a parking garage overlooking the stadium. But yeah, congrats. I mean, I get it to all the football lovers, but I see it for what it is, and I think you do too. So just bread and circus. That's all it is. Bread and circus. Keep us all entertained. Hey, look over here. And hey, while you're at it, why don't you give us your youth so we can indoctrinate them into the military and send them to some foreign war to kill some innocent women and children? That's what I see it as. But moving on, what do we got here? At least it's not Kamala. Yeah, at least it's not Kamala. I gotta agree with that. Escalating the drug war. Yeah, did they escalate it? I don't know. We declare war on everything. You guys see the Carlin clip, that old, you know, where he's like, oh, we declare war on everything. Seed oil lobbyist is the chief of the USDA. That's a new one. I didn't even see that. I'm so busy trying to see all of these fucking clowns that they've put into all of these positions. You gotta give me a month so I can remember all these assholes' names and who they are and how terrible they are and why they're terrible for it. AI biometric surveillance. Yeah, we warned you that was coming under Trump. $500 billion for mRNA. Yeah, that's gonna save us all from cancer, isn't it? Virtual border wall. We warned you about that one too. Zionist Warhawk cabinet. Yeah, we called that. Techno bro collusion. Yeah, the freaking sausage fest is insane. WorldCoin. Oh, but let's talk about Trump's coin, right? Melania's got her own coin now, too. Stargate data centers. Oh, Larry's getting his way. And the technocratic control grid. Those are all things that we're just pretending are not happening right now. Oh, good times. Good times. And let's see, did you guys see this? Yeah, we announced this over on Saturday's show. Thank you guys for joining us for Beauty and the Boomer. Oz and I had a good time. It was a good show. Fun was had by everybody. So the CIA now favors the lab leak theory to explain COVID origins. Oh, this is the New York Times only reporting this 5 years after Roar Media told you this and took a major community guideline strike and almost lost our channel multiple times. A new analysis has begun under the Biden administration has been released by the CIA's new director, John Ratcliffe, who wanted the agency to get off the sidelines in this debate. Off the sidelines. Dude, you guys haven't been on the sidelines. You have been nowhere to be fucking found for the last 5 years. And anybody who spoke truth about this, which we did in March of 2020. March of 2020 is when we told you where this came from, and we got the crap slapped out of us for it. So we've always known. You know, we told you where the funding came from for the Wuhan lab 2 years before it became an actual thing where Fauci denied it to Congress. Remember when he denied that there was any money and funding going to the Wuhan lab? But, you know, the biggest thing I take away from this is we should all be scared to fucking death of all of the biolabs that are around us. Do you have a biolab around you? I mean, I think we have one. I'd say probably about 20 miles away. Biolabs are all over the country. Plum Island got shut down. They shut Plum Island down, 2 years ago and moved it to Kansas. Yeah, because putting a biolab in the middle of the country, not a bad idea at all. I mean, there's a reason we put these things on islands, but you know, fuck it. We'll just put it in the middle of the country. We need to be screaming at these elected fucking morons that we want transparency about these fucking labs. And, you know, the Wuhan lab was what they called an onion pill lab or an onion lab. And that's because of the different layers of security it was supposed to have, right? I mean, we all know they're playing God and engineering in these things. So how did it get out? Did it jump onto somebody and then get through their layers of security? I mean, those are the questions we should be asking. We know where the fuck it came from. Jon Stewart sat on, late night TV, 2 years ago? And told us where it came from. Everybody wanted to believe the pangolin bullshit. We knew it didn't jump species, that it had been engineered. And we knew that because of the way that the biotech broke down for the DNA on it. I mean, it was very clear that it was engineered. But when we said that shit, man, we were in deep trouble. Which I still could probably get in trouble for even telling you over here. So, yeah, Fauci, high crimes against humanity. But he's pardoned, so, you know. No harm, no foul. Anyways, moving on. Slow news day. Steve being all salty. I was listening to Steve this morning. He had a great show. Chief Nerd says, no, CIA Director John Ratcliffe says that most likely the cause of the pandemic was because of a lab leak incident in Wuhan. And Slow News Day, Steve says, but it definitely wasn't a bioweapon that the U.S. via Fort Detrick definitely had nothing to do with it. Right, John? Yeah, that's the question. We all know where it came from.
Part of what we have to do is we have to restore Americans' trust in our own institutions, like the intelligence community and law enforcement, and that includes the CIA. And, you know, one of the things the president stressed, you know, the purpose of the CIA is to protect Americans, to keep us safe from foreign threats and foreign adversaries. But we also need to be truthful with Americans. And he has stressed to me and others that, you know, these aren't mutually exclusive missions. We can do both. And so in the case of the CIA, which is the best foreign intelligence service in the world, after 5 years to not have a public assessment, to be honest with the American people about where the likely source of a pandemic that that killed millions around the world, including 1 million Americans, and really impacted all 345 million Americans in some way. People lost jobs, they lost houses, they lost their health, they lost their businesses, all of that. And so I had the opportunity on my first day to make public an assessment that actually took place in the Biden administration. So it can't be accused of being political, and it does assess. The CIA has assessed that the most likely cause of this pandemic that has wrought so much devastation around the world was because of a lab-related incident in Wuhan. And so we'll continue to investigate that moving forward. But I think it was important for the American people to see an institution like the CIA get off the sidelines and be truthful about what our intelligence shows, at the same time of protecting us from adversaries like China if they caused or contributed to this.
The Wuhan lab was funded by the U.S., but we're still going to blame China because Trump is in power now. And how convenient that the CIA came out with this, nonpartisan report right after Trump took office. I guess better late than never is where we're at. Yeah, gain of function. Let's talk about it. We're not allowed to talk about it. So here is, remember when Jink and Anna over at TYT just tore the shit out of Jimmy Dore? They went after Jimmy Dore daily during COVID because, let's be honest, Jimmy jumped ship on us at the beginning of COVID. We were all shaking our head like, what the hell is he doing? You got to take the vax. You got to take the vax. Well, he got injured and changed his tune, and I'm sorry he got injured, but I'm glad that he saw it for what it is. So let's go down memory alley and remember how bad they actually were over at TYT. Who's watching TYT anymore? Do they have any followers over there anymore? I mean, I haven't looked at any of their streams in 8 years, so I don't know. Good morning, Jilly Love. How are you? Driving Miss Macy, good morning.
Everyone who believes in the conspiracy is saying that he came out of a lab in Wuhan rather than through food at a market.
And he continued to push a conspiracy theory that has already been debunked by our intelligence community. This whole notion that the coronavirus was developed in a Chinese lab, that has been debunked.
Is that I don't know who to trust.
Yeah.
Right? I certainly don't trust reporters because reporters treated this initially as if it was nothing more than a crazy, unhinged conspiracy theory.
Yeah.
So who do you trust, right? You can't trust the legacy media outlets because that was their narrative.
It came out of the city that has a Wuhan Institute of Virology, a Chinese lab that worked on coronaviruses. Man, that is an awfully large coincidence. And that's what I've thought throughout, that was an awfully large coincidence.
Oh my gosh. Who actually 3 years later they decide to actually tell their viewers the truth? Time to move on, guys, if you're still watching TYT. And TYT has imploded itself with its stupid bootlicking of the establishment. Remember when Anna kissed Madeleine Albright's ass? Yeah, that shit was gross. Totally gross. I can't believe I ever watched TYT. The only reason I watched TYT was because Jimmy was on there, right? I mean, 2016, yeah, I watched, but I learned really quickly coming into 2017 that those guys did not know what the hell they were talking about. And let's see, Simpsons. What are the Simpsons predicting for 2025? We've seen some shit over the Simpsons. Makes you wonder. MAGA finding out that they're getting a $500 billion new world order AI totalitarian monitoring beast system and an mRNA cancer vaccine when all they wanted was cheaper gas and foods. Oh, I'm sorry, you Trump lovers out there. And let's see. Oh my God, America is descending into fascism. It's always been fascist, you stupid child. yeah. Wake up, people. Wake up. Cute memes. And the JFK RFK files are supposed to be released because we're trusting the CIA and FBI to tell us the truth about what the hell they actually did. Are you saying that you don't trust what our intelligence communities have to say? No, I don't, Wolf. And confirmed Robert Kennedy Jr. as head of HHS. Is that what he was confirmed for? Now, did he have an inauguration? I've seen Jewel the singer Jewel, out there crying because she apparently played his inauguration ball and then the alphabet people came for her? Is that, I didn't even take time to look into it because I could care less. It doesn't fucking change a thing. But you guys let me know in the chat if that's what actually went down. Poor Jewel. Clueless as always. She tries. You know, if they really wanted to tell us some truth, let us know what the hell actually happened in Vegas. I mean, this one's been a big one for me because I had just started supporting and working for live stream activists over on Facebook back when we used to be able to share video over on Facebook. And that night that this went down, I was actually working the page. And so I was moving video as fast as I could. I probably saw, I don't know, 3/4 of the videos that were created that night and dropped. Many of them don't exist anymore because they have been AI taken down, algorithmically crushed. And I know that when I go back and I look at my memories on Facebook and it says post unavailable, post unavailable, post unavailable, because they just ripped your content down, but your post is still there, right? I know you guys see that shit over on Facebook all the time too. So I did not believe the narrative then, and I absolutely do not believe the narrative now. You know, if they wanted to tell us some truths and be transparent, this would be the incident to do it on. So President Trump should declassify information related to the 2017 Las Vegas shooting massacre. 60 killed, 413 shot, 867 wounded from the ensuing chaos, yet the investigation is still shrouded in secrecy. Stephen Paddock likely did not act alone. Yeah, I've never thought, I think he was the scapegoat, right? We always got the scapegoats, the person they pin it on. And yeah, if they wanted actual transparency and us to start believing our 3-letter agencies, they should start with something like this. I mean, there's nobody to hold accountable for shit that happened 60 some years ago. Is it going to do us any good? And we're not going to learn anything from those files that they don't want us to know. We've seen reporters look at it and say, oh, it's a nothing burger. There's nothing in there. So, you know, great news. Since Trump's back in office, the Nazi rallies are starting to pop up again. But are they really Nazis, or are they just agent provocateurs? Yes, we know who you guys are. We saw them marching out of the parking garage the other day, all dressed in their khakis with their faces covered, because that's what the feds do. And new evidence proves the FBI staged rallies for political purposes. Bombshell. Is this a bombshell? Come on. Is this really a fucking bombshell? Headline News USA details how the FBI has been organizing and staging, Nazi rallies for political reasons. In one case, the FBI staged a rally in Ohio that resulted in one of the deadliest race riots in U.S. history. I'm so tired of being told that this is the deadliest, worst, biggest in U.S. history. Like, what? Kurt thinks this is funny. It is. We know who they are. Come on. We know. You're not fooling us. We know damn well who you are. And let's see. FBI and military won't let us go to our homes. So let's check in on Florida. Let's check in on California, and how about North Carolina while we're at it. So this is California. So we saw Trump and Mayor Karen Bass, Democrat, going at it Friday, where Trump's saying, let them go home. Let them go home. Let them clean out their lots. Let them clean up their property. They fucking own it. And she's like, yeah, but it's dangerous. We can't let anybody go home. And he's like, why? There's no fires. It's actually raining and hailing in California right now, in LA. So why can't these people go back to their properties and their homes that aren't burned out? Good question. So this gentleman trying to get back to his home.
All right, guys, so I came back to see if we could get to my house out here. Let's see what they have to say. Military is about to come speak to me. You guys will hear the truth. How you doing, brother? Good. I live right here. Just want to go to my house.
Unfortunately, we can't let anybody through. It's a hard closure.
Why is that?
Because there's an evacuation order. We can't let anybody through unless you're contractor, first responder, somebody supporting the first responders?
I'm a contractor, and I also live here.
But are you working to support the fire? Like, what are you doing?
I would love to support the fire.
Are you supporting the fire?
Contractor.
Do you have credentials saying that you're supposed to be here?
I have a question for you.
Yes.
So we've been evacuated about almost a week ago.
Mm-hmm.
We've been homeless, no home. We've noticed that you guys are here, the military.
Right.
There is no fire by my house as I see the fire is out. So maybe my house has been burned down already. Maybe it hasn't. At my risk, I want to go there and see it. If I burn down, it's okay.
Yeah,
I'm fine with that.
I'll take
Well,
responsibility.
why is that a no?
I don't know the why.
Because I was told.
I'm just going to tell you that we have orders not to let anybody through.
Chain of command.
Can you bring him for a sec? I want to ask him a question.
You want to ask him a question?
Yes.
That's fine.
That's fine. You can talk to the next in line, the next in command. This is terrible. Let him go home. What the hell? That we know there's no fires burning there. What is the power trip here? I'm not sure. I'm not sure what the power grab is here. I heard there was just an earthquake 4.1 in Boston. Yeah, we had one a week and a half ago over on the north side of Seattle. Yeah, it seems like the techno plates are moving. And yeah, I see you guys talking about Kurt in the chat. Kurt Metzger, of course, the Jimmy Dore sidekick. Now, Kurt cracks me up. He does. And I find Kurt very, very fucking knowledgeable. I do. He knows a lot and he's got a good retention of it. That's my problem is I learn it and then it goes, in one ear and out the other. I don't retain it. I wish I had the retention skills of like Whitney Webb or Kurt, but I agree. He interrupts too much. Like sometimes I just want to scream, shut up, Kurt, and let Jimmy say what he's trying to say. I was watching it the other day and Kurt was interrupted. I was like, God damn, Kurt. But Kurt cracks me up. And I think he brings a lot more comedy than Jimmy actually does, he says some funny shit. He really does. Okay, moving on. That's just terrible. Let's take a look at North Carolina. So since Trump took over, the Army Corps of Engineers mysteriously all of a sudden just popped up back over there, because Biden couldn't get them down there. They've had brutally cold weather in North Carolina and snow, and so many people are living in tents and little travel trailers. And speaking from the trailer park, have you ever tried to battle a winter in one of those little tiny travel trailers? It's not easy. Your propane runs out in the middle of the night. All of a sudden, it's freaking, 10 degrees in your goddamn camper. Everything's frozen outside. Like, it's a brutal existence to try to live through a winter in a travel trailer, especially in a cold area. But let's check out it. And I saw a video yesterday that was shocking. They haven't cleaned up shit. The trains are still derailed and laying on their side. There's piles and piles of cars down each fucking road. But I'm glad to see the Army Corps of Engineers is out here trying to at least, shore things up. Let's check it out. Apparently I muted the sound, or there is no sound. I don't know. But good to see the Army Corps is out there. They used to do good stuff, They really did. They really did. A lot of our levees, a lot of our dams, they used to do good things. It's that time of year again. Davos is happening. Of course, that's the World Economics Forum's biggest party of the year. We heard this year, normally a large amount of prostitutes flock to Davos for this. We've heard that there has been a request for the trans ones, the trans sex workers this time. So I guess they're upping their taste over there at the Davos WEF. And I brought you guys a couple clips of just what they're talking about. Did you guys see the about 45-minute long speech that was given by evil freaking villain Klaus Schwab the other day? Now it is on. Amber sent me a clip last night in the middle of the night. I was up watching it at like 3 o'clock in the morning of Klaus, and I gotta tell you, they're pissed that Trump has rose out of the ashes, and they are pissed at the American people that we supported him. So they're going to bring us to our knees and make us fucking heal for it. And they've got plans, but they're not really telling us what those plans are. Do you believe that? I don't. I think they all work hand in hand. You know, the Larry Ellisons, the, you know, Palantir, Peter Steele. We call him Steele because he steals everything. The Elon Musk, they work hand in hand with the World Economic Forum. So I'm not believing there's a battle of fucking billionaires going on. They all sniff each other's asses. They all get along, and they all, you know, they all shit and piss on the poors. And that's what it's about. It's about bringing the poors to heel, because how dare we, you know, vote for Trump instead of having a puppet like Biden who did everything that they wanted in there. And here, let me take myself off the screen. There you go. Yeah, they're all Satanists too. We know that. And here's a reenactment of all the jets on their way there. So private jets migrating to another climate change conference. Yes, they all fly their fancy jets over to Davos so that way they can talk about how you, the poors, are stealing out their mouths and destroying the environment. Yeah, not them. You. So I brought you a couple clips. Let's check them out. Let's see. What do we got? First, billionaire elites at WEF literally flying their private jets into Davos in order to discuss ways to get you to share your car with your neighbor. Dude, I don't want to share my car with the neighbor. I can tell you that. And I definitely don't want to be driving the neighbor's piece of shit. That thing is so loud, it wakes me up every damn day. Yeah, the stupid, it burns. Let's hear how stupid it is.
If you can get people to share a car, you can take out, a lot of cars in the streets. I think it's Singapore where they looked at how they could bring it down to about 40% of the cars if we would use them smarter. And the interesting thing about technology is that it makes sharing easy and fun and not annoying. It used to be a little bit difficult to share. You know, you would have to go in somewhere in the other end of town and get a key, and that's not what you want to do if you want to take your car. But if you can just use your neighbor's car because you have a smartphone and an app and you don't even need to know the neighbor to get into his car, or if you can find ways of carpooling.
That's called stealing.
And this is what technology helps you do. It's much easier.
If you do that, you're going to go to jail. So don't just get into your neighbor's car and take it because you have an app. That's called Grand Theft Auto, and there's a game about it. It's been out for a long time. That's just funny to me. Yeah, share your car, especially if you live in the rural frickin' areas of America. That'll be easy on you, won't it? So let's talk about carbon tax, because they can make it really easy. Why don't we start a carbon wallet, and everybody will get carbon tax or carbon credits, and if you're too poor to say go on vacation or use yours, hey, you can sell them to one of the rich people. So that way they can go on more vacations. Does that sound fair? That's what they want to do. Check it out.
The digital identity is not just a passport that you will have on your iPhone in a digital form. It entails just about everything the government would like to know about you. And yesterday in the Dutch media, we saw a perfect example of what it could entail in the near future. We had the CEO of one of the largest Dutch banks say, why don't we start with a personal carbon credit?
Oh.
A carbon wallet, she called it, actually. Yeah. So right in line with the plans that the World Economic Forum people have for us. And she said it in a way that was particularly funny. She said, well, if everyone gets an individual personal carbon credit, why don't we make it so that rich people who, for example, want to go on holiday a little too often can buy personal carbon credit from other people who, for example, can't afford buying plane tickets or eating meat too often. So we can that way swap it out.
You can't afford meat.
Oh, so if Bill Gates or Leonardo DiCaprio's carbon footprint is getting a bit too big, then some peasant living in his hovel up country somewhere can sell his, and he can't afford to go to Saint-Tropez, but he'll be able to sell his carbon allowance to Leonardo DiCaprio so Leonardo can park his yacht in Saint-Tropez for a couple of extra days.
Exactly right. That's it. So what will happen is the rich will get richer, the poor will get poorer, and they're saying it openly as if it's not a controversial thing at all. It's neo-feudalism. That's what it is.
Die uitstootrechten verdelen en dat elk huishouden of elke burger een hoeveelheid uitstootrechten krijgt. Zodat we opgeteld niet meer uitstoten dan onze grens. Vervolgens kunnen we, het zit in een carbon wallet, kan je dat noemen.
Kan je het bijkopen.
Ja, en dan kan je, als ik wil vliegen, koop van iemand die niet gaat vliegen, omdat hij daar bijvoorbeeld geen geld voor heeft. Die verkoopt aan mij zijn carbon uitstootrechten en krijgt daardoor een beetje meer geld. Of diegene woont in een kleiner huurhuis en ik woon in een groot huis. Ik heb dus meer uitstootrechten nodig om mijn huis te verwarmen. En zo kunnen mensen met een smalle portemonnee ook iets verdienen aan vergoeding.
Oh, this is the way poor people can benefit from the economy. Yeah, you are the carbon that they want to reduce 100%. What could go wrong at all? You could make a little money. You could be selling your carbon credits on the streets. You know that you'll get pennies on the dollar. This will be like cashing out your 401k early. You'll take penalties. Come on. Yeah, but we've been telling you guys, we've been telling you for years this is coming, and it's here. Albert Burla was hanging out over at the WEF. Let's see what Albert had to say, our favorite freaking CEO from the private sector of Pfizer. Check it out.
First, I need to tell you that I'm super excited about the prospects of life sciences, exactly because of that. It's not only advancements in biotechnology, but also advancements in digital technology. But the two are colliding, and they are going to create tremendous synergistic effects. I'm going to use an example of a disease that worries all, the emperor of all maladies, cancer. There is a new biotechnology that we are using, which is called ADC, antibody drug conjugate. I'm going to use, because we have marked here, military terms to describe the war on cancer. The problem is that when you use the chemotherapies, that they are most common used drugs right now for cancer, you are not killing only the cancer cells, but you are killing also the healthy cells. So you need to be more precise. So that's why we developed something like a GPS-guided missile, a medicine that is very precise. We try, first of all, to identify a target that will identify that this is what we want to kill and shoot. So, for example, a protein that it is more common in the cancer cell than in the healthy cells. One of the example, IB6, it's a protein, IB4, excuse me, which is a protein that is expressed in 90% of lung cancer cells. So now we know that this is the target. We know that if our missile sees IB4, we'll attack it. In order to identify targets, AI will make that process that usually was taking years, will take months. It's amazing, it's exponential, the improvement. Once we do that, now we need something that will be the GPS mechanism that will come and adhere to the target, this protein. So we need to bring an antibody that will go and click to this protein. And AlphaFold, which Ruth spoke about, and it is a good example, because also the inventors took the Nobel Prize this year. It is helping us to accelerate the design of these antibodies instead of years, months. Once you have the antibody, now you need a warhead for your missile. And that will be nuclear or can be tactical, depends on what is the cancer you need to kill. So what is the result of all of that? You link the antibody with a warhead, you release the missile, and will not explode on any healthy cell. Will explode only on the cancer cells. AI can facilitate each and every of these prospects. Whatever we can do with ADCs in 10 years, we can do with ADCs in 18 months now.
Okay, so this is what I know. Okay, as a lung cancer patient who has recently been through chemo and radiation. Now, there's two types of lung cancer. There is non-small cell and then there's small cell. Small cell is the most aggressive, but is easier to kill, but not long-term. And then non-small cell is harder to kill, but, it takes longer to be terminal. So this type of therapy can be used on non-small cell. They cannot, I do not qualify. They cannot use this type of therapy on me right now, because they are using this therapy in the United States. I've studied on it, but they are using something similar in radiation right now, where they are trying not to damage the healthy cells, and they're doing a more pinpointed, guided, radiation treatment that is which is done by AI. So they did scans of me, and then they fed it into the AI. They said it would take 48 hours for the AI to come back with the plan, and then they fed that plan into the AI radiation machine. And then I was fitted for this form fitting, what they call a bean bag, which holds me in the same exact spot every time. And then the machine rotates around you and targets exactly. So you're watching these calculations shoot up on the screen of exactly, where the machine is going to go. And it did work. It did target a couple of them that were higher up into my collarbone and into my nodules. And those ones are completely gone from what I can see on the PET scan. Like I said, I haven't really talked to my doctor yet, so I don't know all the information, but from what I can read on there, it did attack those. So did it get the healthy cells? I hope not. I mean, that is the goal, is to not kill the healthy cells. I was taking massive vitamin C. They say take a lot of vitamin C. Well, a lot of people said. And when I went and I saw the doctor, she was like, the radiation doctor, she was like, no, stop taking the vitamin C, because the vitamin C, yes, it protects the healthy cells, but it also protects the cancer cells that we're trying to kill. So, I mean, it's a battle of these cells of trying to kill the healthy ones, trying not to kill trying to kill the bad ones, trying not to kill the healthy ones. So, but do we really trust AI? I'm just saying. So digital ID must be accepted by U.S. citizens by 2028 or risk of exclusion from society. Why is that, Bill? Why is that? Well, we've talked about that, and that is because there will be no encryption. There is no encryption now. Did you ever see the clip from John McAfee where he's laughing at us? He's like, you fucking fools think that there's actually encryption. Like, there is no encryption. That's just there to make you feel better. And it's not going to do anything for you. Let's trust AI. AI can't figure out if humans have 5 fingers or 6 fingers, but we're going to trust AI with the future of our cells. I don't know. Trump, we're going to make AI to make custom mRNA vaccines, the AI. Yeah, I think we should wait till it gets a little better and can actually figure out that humans don't have, 6 fingers and 8 toes on 1 foot. Just saying. So I'm sorry, but you have cancer. But how? Yeah, but how did I get cancer? Could be all of the poisons that we consume on a daily basis. Just seems kind of crazy, doesn't it? Let's see. What is this one? I'm not sure what this one is. Matthew Harper. You said on CNN that RFK Jr. This is something. Oh, this is them attacking RFK Jr. on vaxes. Let's see.
You said on CNBC that RFK Jr. could cost lives as HHS secretary. I would assume that means that you would prefer he not become HHS secretary. Is that a fair statement?
That's right.
Yeah.
We've done a lot of dives into Gottlieb.
I was hoping you could run us through exactly what it is that you think he could do on vaccines that would be damaging. I mean, there's not really a chance of unapproving MMR, is there?
So I think you'll see efforts to do things like disband ACIP, try to get like-minded people, anti-vaxxers on ACIP who would potentially...
That's the vaccine committee of the CDC.
The Advisory Committee for Immunization Practices that advises CDC on immunization practices and makes recommendations about what should be included in the childhood immunization schedule. So if you took all the vaccines that are currently recommended by CDC and you move them into the category that's called joint decision-making, which is a separate category that that requires a joint decision between the physician and the patient, as opposed to being recommended, where it becomes part of the childhood immunization schedule and the school entrance requirements, that could put a lot of pressure on a lot of red states that are currently under pressure to do away with childhood immunization schedules at the state legislature level.
How many vax do we have to take to go to school? I don't know, like 14, 21, maybe max. I mean, I don't even think it was that high. I think my kids were that, but God, I can't imagine right now. Every time my daughter tells me she took my grandkids in, I'm just like, what can you do? How do you stop it without becoming labeled what they're trying to label RFK Jr.? Yes, I do believe that he has actually been confirmed as the HHS. I don't think the Democrats managed to stop him, but they definitely fear-mongered. And, of course, that was Scott Gottlieb. We've talked a lot of shit. We've done some deep dives over on Uncensored into him over the years. And bad dude, man. Bad dude. Let's see. Government docs from 2002 reveal 20-year plan to alter evolution with nanotechnology. Oh, you know who's been telling us about this? Miss Amber King over at Brave New Future. She's been telling us about this for many, many years. She's done amazing dives into the patents on the nanotech. And we miss Sister Amber. She should be coming back shortly. She said something about getting back to doing shows too soon. But you can go back and rewatch the ones that she put out there. A lot of good information, especially on the nanotech. The nanotech scares the shit out of me, man. A lot of people say those things that are growing in people's lungs, those are nanotech. I don't know, man. Conspiracy. Crazy. I know you guys have seen them. Let's see, what is this? Exclusive White House in talks to have Oracle and U.S. investors take over TikTok. Oh, Larry's going to get freaking TikTok too. Lucky him. So this was on June 7th. Reuters says TikTok says it has completely mitigated information on its U.S. users to servers at Oracle. Oh, they already sent it over in a move that could address U.S. regulations concerns over data integrity on the popular short video app. So they already turned it over. So Oracle already has all the TikTok data. What does it matter who owns it now? NPR. Yeah. Who trusts NPR anymore? Not me, man. I used to be a faithful NPR listener. I mean, on the way to work, I'd be listening to NPR. There is nobody worth a shit at NPR. There hasn't been in at least 10 years. Yeah, I'm a clown world survivor. Yeah, we're all surviving it, right? And my role is to create all of the chaos possible. My role is to be the savior and lead people towards the new world order. It's called Good Cop, Bad Cop. And that's what we're living through right now. Good cop, bad cop. I think Oz added this. Let's see, what is this? The spies who lied. The intelligent experts who falsely discredited Hunter Biden's laptop and still won't say they're sorry. Are they going to pull all of their security clearances? I heard they were talking about pulling their security clearances. I hope they do. You don't get to call yourself a freaking intelligence asset. Lie to the American people. We told you the night that it dropped that it was real. We went over to Chinese servers. Oz and I braved it. We watched that freaking porn. And we told you guys it was real. We knew that night it was real. And we told you this story was never going to go away. I remember saying that night. I'm like, this story is not going away. It's real. And the Democrats can lie. The mainstream media can lie. It is absolutely 100% real. And turns out we were right again. Told you so. U.S. politicians stand with Israel because I blackmailed them all. Yes, we know. Why doesn't he release the Epstein client list? Trump? None of your friends are on there? Is that why? Maybe some of your friends are on there. So, did you guys see this yesterday? 2 reparations flights from the U.S. to Colombia that were full of a large number of illegal criminals, maybe, were not allowed to land in Colombia. So the order was given by the Colombian socialist president. You see Trump had to put socialist president in there. Gustavo Petro. and who's already very unpopular amongst his people. Yeah, you had to throw that in there too. He denied the flights, has jeopardized national security and public safety of the United States. So I have directed my administration to immediately take the following and urgent, decisive, retaliatory measures. At least he calls them retaliatory. Let's see what they are. Emergency tariff, 25%. All goods coming from the United States in 1 week. 25% tariff will be raised to 50%. Oh my God, a 50% tariff on cocaine? That would suck. Come on, what else comes out of Colombia? I don't know. Coffee, right? A lot of people are complaining about their coffee. A travel ban. Immediate visas are revoked of the Colombian government officials, the allies, and the supporters. Visa sanctions on all party members, family members, and supporters of the Colombian government. Enhanced customs and border protection inspection of all Colombian nationals and cargoes on national security grounds. Well, good luck getting your frickin' stash in now. And let's see, an IEPA, I'm not sure what that is, Treasury, banking, and financial sanctions to be fully imposed. These measures are just the beginning. We will not allow the Colombian government to violate the legal obligation with regards to the acceptance and the return of their criminals they forced into the United States. So big words from little man. Who is this going to hurt? I see it hurting coffee shops. I see it hurting, what sanctions? I don't know how much actually comes out of Colombia. The tariffs will screw us in the wallet. Yeah, it will screw the American people because we will be the ones paying for this. We've said this a lot and we know it. I got a threefer from Fee because Fee is killing it this week. Of course, Fee is over in Belarus, which we're told as the American public that the Belarus elections are a sham and they are not real, but yours are. So, Anyways, let's see what Fee has to say from Belarus. God, beautiful city from what she's shown us so far. I think Pasta was trying to get in, but he didn't get his visa, maybe?
We are right outside the information center in Minsk, Belarus, right before the elections take place this Sunday. The presidential elections are very important because the United States has already said that the elections are a sham and that they are not valid. Over here behind me is where all the journalists are going to go and are going to get all the information that they need. They're going to see press conferences. We're going to be able to talk to some international voters. There are international voters from so many different countries here. And of course, we'll be getting more information and talking to them as we proceed. Just so everybody knows, the preliminary voting, early voting as we call it in the West, has begun already on the 21st, but the real elections will take place Sunday. There are no mail ballots. There's no drop-off boxes. You have to vote in person. And I'm going to have a breakdown as to what that actually is. But I just want everybody to take a look at the center of Minsk here. It is absolutely very similar to Moscow. The weather is quite cold, but overall very beautiful and very Soviet-like. There's a lot of Soviet structures here behind me. Lukashenko is a politician that is not liked by the West. He has been criticized for not following along with Russian sanctions, and he has been criticized by being very close to Vladimir Putin. The sanctions have been placed on Belarus. For example, you won't see an H&M here. You will not see an ability to mail packages from the US. However, I did see a Zara here. There is a Zara, and you can use European or American cards or Mir cards, which are the Russian version, but you can't really use other cards outside of it. So it's kind of in a limbo. These elections are going to be held in the background of so much uncertainty happening in Georgia and with the nearby countries that the US has been trying to essentially interfere in. And we have been seeing this push via Moldova as well. And the European Union now saying that, hey, there could be some sort of truce between the United States with Donald Trump coming in. But Donald Trump has said that Vladimir Putin has to do what he says, what the United States says, or he's going to continue sanctioning Russia. And so this doesn't really seem very plausible. Neither does NATO troops on the border of Russia seem plausible. So we're still seeing the tension between the United States, NATO, and of course Russia, Ukraine happening as this whole election is happening, and that's going to play a major role. We'll have more information as to the breakdown of all of this in the coming days. Stay tuned. Watch the space.
Fee. I'm so proud of Fee. You know, meeting Fee and knowing Fee from the Bernie Sanders day when she was a citizen reporter on the streets to where she is now. I'm just, she makes my heart sing, and I'm so proud of her. And she looked amazing. So I will be keeping an eye on that election, and I'm sure Pasta and her will go live, and make sure you're following them. I always forget the name of their they changed the name of their channel to Truth Wire. Is it Truth Wire? Come on, tell me in the chat. You guys will tell me. Anyways, like I said, I got a 3-fer from Fee. Fee says, Putin's response to the Ukraine's latest statement saying Russia never refused to talk, but the war couldn't be avoided if Trump had been elected and not cheated. Yeah, probably. He noted it was Trump who was introduced to a huge number of sanctions against Russia, which caused serious damage to the U.S. Now, we know that the sanctions really did not hurt Russia that bad. I mean, from what we've seen, Fee's reporting over the years, and you know, as far as Trump, this wouldn't have happened. Bullshit. The CIA was in there from 2014 on. Go watch Ukraine on Fire. The White Helmets. They had been trying to set this off for fucking years, and fortunately for them, Biden got in and they managed to do it. Let's hear what Biden had to say. Is it Truth Wire? It's Truth Wire, right? Okay. So I think that there's subtitles on this one. I might have to read, guys. Sorry.
I'd like to say that Russia never refused to come into contact with the United States administration. And it is through no fault of ours that the previous administration refused to communicate. I always had business-like relations with the previous U.S. president that were very business-like and pragmatic. But there was trust as well. Now, if he had been the president, if the victory wasn't stolen from him in 2020, maybe the Ukrainian crisis that arose in 2022 would have never appeared. Frankly, I doubt that the current president, Mr. Trump, and
would Trump have stood up to NATO? I doubt
together. Worked with the president the first time. I doubt that if he makes any decisions about imposing additional sanctions, so I don't think he will make decisions that would harm the American economy. He's a very smart man. He's a very pragmatic. I don't think that he will make any decisions that would not benefit the United States.
Well, let's hope not. You know, the Democrats really beat the drum on the fact that Trump had a working relationship with Putin years before he was even elected, right? He had hotels in Russia. I think he might have even had a golf course. And the base of the Democratic Party just really glommed onto this. I remember even talking to lifelong friends who were like, oh, you know, Putin's puppet. Putin owns him. Trump put more sanctions on Russia than any president we've ever had. So, you know, I do think that, you know, Vladimir recognizes that. So this is some propaganda that was put out. Check this out. We are supposed to believe that this is how Russians are living. These old rundown apartments with no heat, right? I mean, that's what we see in the U.S. movies. It's always cold and they've got blankets up over the doors and windows and shit. Do Russians really support the war in Ukraine? And Fee says, let's see what Fee says. So here's a typical Russian apartment as seen by Westerners. People are manipulated in every conceivable way. This is why you see the bloody nonsense announcements like warning on Russians coming after your washing machines, toilets, microwaves, swallowed by the masses without question. Yeah. Fee says, I've been to plenty of Russian apartments, not rented by Westerners, but actual Russians, and not a single one of them, even outside of Moscow, looks like this. The propaganda is strong. This is why Westerners come here completely blown away. And, you know, we see the same thing now that everybody's migrated over to Red Note with China, right? We all thought they wore gray and they lived in work camps, right? I mean, that is the American propaganda. And we are fed propaganda about Russians, you know, living these torn down old rickety apartments, and that's not the reality. We see very clean cities. We see infrastructure that blows our infrastructure away. Both China and Russia, you know, their infrastructure is an A++, where ours is a fucking D-, and we never talk about it. You know, our elected officials never talk about it anyways. So that was your 3 for from Fee. I can't remember what this one is. Let's play it and see.
Right now, look at Europe. 3 years ago, Finland was not a militarized zone, and neither was Sweden. Now, listen to this. There are 47 U.S. bases going into Norway, Sweden, Finland, and Denmark. That is more than the Middle East. This will be the most militarized U.S. occupied zone on the planet. That tells you that no matter what any president is saying for foreign policy, there's already a long-range plan to militarize the Arctic Passage, to reconfigure the energy matrix for Europe, and basically keep this Iron Curtain going between Europe and Russia. Well, let's not be naive. Once you get into power and you got all the agencies, the NSA, the CIA, the National Security Council, 200 foreign policy advisors, plus the media, plus, things tighten up pretty quickly at that point. And you don't have any kind of wiggle room. And that's what the concern is. But I'm hoping for the best. Trust me, I really would love to see de-escalation across the board. And I'd love if Trump did it.
Yeah, Trump ain't going to do it. We know that. Oh, yippee, more new bases. Just exactly what we need. And really, it does come down to the energy sector, right? You know, Nord Stream pipeline, LNG, and drill, baby, drill, because we want the world to be dependent on our energy, not Russia's. And I'm starting watching Convo Couch right at the same time. JDS is about a week late. I was subscriber number 39. Popeye, really? That's amazing. Moving on. Let's see. Dr. Mark. Oh, yeah. This is a heartbreaking interview with a doctor who volunteers and goes to Gaza, and what he's saying about snipers targeting the children in Gaza. Now, we've known this. We've been reporting this for freaking years. Even before October 7th, the IDF was sitting up on the wall, just picking them off on their way to school. We've known that, and I mean, just this is heartbreaking. I mean, poor baby.
You're saying that children in Gaza are being shot by snipers.
Definitively. I have two children that I have photographs of that were shot so perfectly in the chest I couldn't put my stethoscope over their heart more accurately, and directly on the side of the head in the same child. No toddler gets shot twice by mistake by the world's best sniper. And they're dead center shots. All of the disasters I've seen combined, 40 mission trips, 30 years, ground zero, earthquakes, all of that combined doesn't equal the level of carnage that I saw against civilians in just my first week in Gaza.
And when you say civilians, is it mostly children?
Almost exclusively children. I've never seen that before. Never seen that. I've seen more incinerated children than I've ever seen in my entire life combined. I've seen more shredded children in...
Oh my gosh. I mean, and it just goes on. It's so terrible. We've been telling you this. We've been reporting it. Come on. We know that a majority of the population in Gaza is children because they've already killed all the adults and the parents. And this unmerciful act of terror on this population of children is condoned and supported by both sides of the aisle and pretty much all of our elected puppet heads, and we need to fight back against them. Hempcar, I'm so sorry I did not see your Rockfin rant come in, but let me catch it real fast. Hempcar says, Redacted said that Trump blocked 2 of RFK Jr.'s picks for vaccine safety. Not sure how he's going to maintain his popularity. Yeah, they're only going to let him say as much as they're going to let him say, right? And Trump needed RFK Jr. support. And I can tell you, a lot of the progressives that I know that voted for Trump did it because they were voting for RFK Jr. Now, I refuse to do it because I see him as the Zionist fucking clown that he is. I contemplated it for a little bit, like, okay, he would be great as, to have a little bit of voice of reason on the HHS, but maybe they're only going to let him play there for a little while and then they'll pull him out because Trump got what he wanted out of him. And that was to swing a lot of the progressive voters over to him. So, yeah, I won't be surprised if we see him packing his bags in 6 months or a year. So not shocking to me at all that he's blocking his picks. Thanks for the super chat, though. Or the Rumble rant, whatever, the Rockfin. What is that? What are they called on Rockfin? I don't even remember. We don't even get them that often. Let's check out Gaza. I mean, what is there left? Everything's been bombed. Of course, Trump wants to start leveling and building. Why is that? Because Jared Kushner, his son-in-law, has a lot of money invested in getting these condos up. And, of course, the new golf courses that are going to be beachfront. And they want to get started on construction right away. So let the cleanup begin, right? Look at that. That's worse than World War II. That is crazy. I watch a lot of World War II stuff, and that is by far worse than anything I saw in any of the old reels of World War II. I mean, that is crazy. And did you hear this? So Trump makes 2,000-pound bombs available to Israel, undoing Biden's pause. Yeah, that's right. We put pressure on Biden, and Biden paused these bombs, remember, probably 8 months ago. And now Trump's like, yeah, nah, go ahead and use them. Use them. It'll just flatten everything. Good to know that he's doing that, right? This was from this morning. Just in, Defense Secretary Peter Hegseth has arrived at the Pentagon for the first time. He's laid out exactly how the Trump Pentagon will operate. Let's hear. Come on.
Breaking news right now. Let's take a live look at the Pentagon, where the new Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth is just now showing up.
That is something the Defense Department absolutely will continue to do. And today, there are more executive orders coming that we fully support on removing DEI inside the Pentagon, reinstating troops who were pushed out because of COVID mandates, Iron Dome for America. This is happening quickly. And as the Secretary of Defense, it's an honor to salute smartly, as I did as a junior officer and now as the Secretary of Defense, to ensure these orders are complied with rapidly and quickly. Every moment that I'm here, I'm thinking about the guys and gals in Guam, in Germany, in Fort Benning and Fort Bragg, on missile defense sites and aircraft carriers. Our job is lethality and readiness and warfighting. We're going to hold
readiness for warfighting.
The chairman agrees with that. The lawful orders of the President of the United States will be executed inside this Defense Department swiftly and without excuse. We will be no better friend to our allies and no stronger adversary to those who want to test us and try us. So, Mr. Chairman, thanks for welcoming me today. I look forward to serving the troops, the warriors of this department. It's the honor of a lifetime, and we're going to get to work. God bless you all. This right here is Jorge Oliveira. He was killed in Afghanistan. He was asked about what I wear on my wrist every single day. It was a troop I served with, a soldier I served with in Guantanamo Bay when I was a platoon leader. He was killed in Afghanistan, not in my unit, but when I was there. It's these guys that we do this for, those that have given the ultimate sacrifice.
So he's all rah, 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 military industrial complex. We're going to be ready for war. And yeah, this doesn't look like a de-escalation of wanting war worldwide. Quite the opposite. Good morning, Indy. I see Indy's hanging out over on the Rumble. Good morning, Zoxovoxovix and Denver Attaway and Jim. How are you guys doing? Hanging out on the Rockfin. Yeah, not shocking. I'm going to tell my kids this was Mitch McConnell. yeah. That's too funny. Did I see something about them recalling Mitch? I mean, I know he was not running again, but I don't know. We got a Katie Johnstone here, Kaylin Johnstone. I think I cut this one halfway through, but you know, she has always been dead accurate. I will continue to support her. She's been speaking truth for the last 10 years that I have followed her. So let's hear what she has to say.
Another journalist arrested in another Western nation for wrongthink about Israel. They've arrested another pro-Palestinian journalist, this time in Switzerland. The Electronic Intifada's executive director, Ali Abunimah, has reportedly been detained by Swiss police in Zurich after having been interrogated for an hour and released the previous day when entering the country. Abunimah, who is Palestinian-American, has played a leading role in exposing and critiquing the apartheid abuses of Israel for many years. In October of last year, Electronic Intifada's associate editor Asa Winstanley saw his home raided by British counter-terrorism police in response to his social media posts about Israel's Western-backed abuses in the Middle East. Multiple electronic devices were seized. No charges were ever filed. In August of last year, journalist Richard Medhurst was arrested by British counter-terrorism police and held for nearly 24 hours under Section 12 of the UK's Terrorism Act of 2000. Later that month, a human rights activist named Sarah Wilkinson was detained by police and had her home raided for online speech crimes. Both cases appear to have been the result of expressions of opinion deemed too sympathetic to resistance groups like Hamas and Hezbollah, which have been designated as terrorist organizations by the British government. Activists Mick Napier, Tony Greenstein, and Richard Barnard have been similarly persecuted in the UK. In the United States, speech rights have been getting stomped out in different ways since October 2023, ranging from violent police crackdowns on college campus demonstrations against Israel's genocidal atrocities in Gaza to banning TikTok in order to suppress pro-Palestinian speech. Silicon Valley tech platforms, which are intimately intertwined with the U.S. government, have been censoring speech that is critical of Israel with increasing aggression, and President Trump has just signed an executive order which appears to be geared toward deporting visitors to the United States who participate in pro-Palestinian activism. Here in Australia, government leaders from both parties pushed hard for a ban on people protesting this past October 7th, and police investigated protesters for waving Hezbollah flags at a demonstration in Melbourne under a new law banning the public display of symbols designated terrorist groups. Zionists have been using the Australian courts to bully prominent journalist Mary Kostakidis on accusations of unlawful hate speech for sharing video footage of the now-deceased Hezbollah leader Hassan Nasrallah. Suppression of dissident speech is becoming more and more overt throughout the West as the empire becomes more violent and tyrannical in its efforts to suppress revolutionary sentiments at home and the emergence of a multipolar world abroad. The facade of an enlightened society where ideas and information are freely exchanged for the enrichment of liberal democracy has been rapidly giving way to iron-fisted authoritarianism, as our historically unprecedented democratization of information allows ordinary people to cast a critical eye on their rulers in ways they never used to be able to. The world's first live-streamed genocide has seen the Western Empire scramble into panic mode as raw video footage circulating on social media opened people's eyes in ways no propaganda spinmeister could possibly reframe. That's why we are seeing police forces increasingly deployed against journalists and activists whose sole crime consists of voicing wrongthink about the empire and its actions.
Absolutely. She nailed it like she always does. That's exactly what's going on. What did I report last week? That Richie's looking at 10 years. Richie Madhurst is looking at 10 freaking years because he won't turn over a bunch of his his electronic equipment. This is crazy. Totally crazy. We already did that one. I brought you guys a Roger Waters. Let's hear what Roger has to say. You know, he's my favorite rocker of them all. Here we go.
So, we find ourselves living in a spaghetti western, the good, the bad, and the ugly. The bad, clearly, is the genocidal state of Israel and all of those in the West who support the genocide. Okay, the good is represented for the rest of us by Francesca Albanese, the special rapporteur. If you don't know who she is, find out and go and listen to everything she says, because everything she says is the truth. And she's a very wise woman, and that is where you should get your information from. Okay, forget Fox News, New York Times, all that bullshit. Francesca Albanese is the good. And the ugly is the new president's protestation today that Gaza is a wonderful piece of real estate that should be ethnically cleansed so that the Donald and his awful family can build seaside apartments and golf courses and just get rid of all the indigenous people, the Palestinian people. So here we are, woo, 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 or however the awful music to the spaghetti westerns went. This is where we are, except that we are not going to allow it. We are going to stand up to the Donald. We are going to stand up to the genociders. We are going to fight back. And I promise you, my brothers and sisters in Palestine, we are never going away until justice is done and peace reigns in the Holy Land.
I love the background music on that. Yeah, he's absolutely right. The good, the bad, the ugly. Yes, you are all wrong. There is nothing more rewarding than standing in a room full of people, telling them they are completely wrong and knowing that you have more information than they have and that they are completely wrong. And that pretty much sums up all of my time working inside the Democratic Party, because that's what it was like every day. I have so many people trying to drag me back into local politics and getting involved in that type of stuff. Locally, Miss Amber King and my local group, OPIA, met with two of the attorneys for the Children's Health Defense on Friday to talk about EMFs, the danger of EMFs that are being emitted from all this new technology, the cell phones and whatnot, and how we can get, some pressure at the federal level to start investigating this. So shout out to Miss Amber King for stepping up and doing that, and everybody in my group. But I just have a hard time with the locals, man. I don't know. I don't have it in me anymore. They beat it out of me when they stalked me and, they gang stalked me, and they just did so many terrible things to me. I just gave up over the years. So I'm not that active in local politics anymore. Thomas Massey says, should President Trump pardon Edward Snowden? Over 80,000 people voted and said 94% yes. President Trump should pardon Edward Snowden. He is a national hero for exposing egregious violations of the Constitution by the Bush and the Obama administrations. Here, we agree. And a pardon for Assange would be great too, while we're at it. Oh, Bernie Cuck Sanders. This was Bernie Friday. Yeah, I think this was Friday, right? They were very scared of RFK Jr. getting confirmed. And here's Bernie doing his best to fight back against that because, misinformation. Let's hear from Bernie. Or let's not. Yeah.
Let us be clear. There is an overwhelming consensus in the scientific community that vaccines have saved millions of lives,
2 minutes, okay.
prevented massive human suffering, and stopped the spread of infectious diseases like polio, smallpox, and measles. Despite these enormous achievements, an increasing number of Americans have started to raise questions about vaccines
How dare them
that I
raise
hope
questions,
our
Bernie?
panelists will be able to answer today.
Every minute, 6 children are saved by vaccines
No
around the
questions.
world. Over the past 50 years, this adds up to 150 million children's lives spared from death. Okay, let that sink in.
Vaccination hesitancy is leading to a resurgence of previously eradicated disease, and in just recent years, cases of measles, polio, pertussis have exploded all around the world.
So I'm scared that that what's happening now, that children are in probably the most dangerous position they've been in recent years.
Each component of the national vaccine effort is important. We cannot take them for granted. Going backwards would expose millions
Bernie,
of
I
children to the
know,
risk
right?
of devastating disease. We have to counter misunderstanding and outright falsehoods about vaccines so the American people can understand what's at stake.
With all of the problems that we have today, and there are many, we have made enormous progress in public health and in saving children's lives. And what, in a sense, I am hearing from all of you is that is in danger, that we may revert back to those terrible days when so many children died at the age of 1 or 2 or 3.
So vaccines have saved our lives. We live 30 years longer than we did 100 years ago.
I'm no fan of big pharma. The point is that vaccines are being developed by people who have a mission to prevent infectious diseases in children and others who are susceptible to infectious diseases. The whole ruse of conflict of interest is just that. It's a distraction from the life-saving ability of these vaccines. And I'm saying that as someone who has a healthy disrespect for institutions like drug companies in the United States.
That own the CDC. Well, Bernie, why were you saying all that? Let's find out why Bernie was saying all that. Bernie Sanders is, one of the top 20 member recipients of big pharmaceutical money from 2019 through 2020. He took over $1 million, Bernie, almost $1.5 million. Really? Really, Bernie? Even less. He took more than Mitch McConnell. What the fuck? Well, we know why Bernie's saying what he's saying. Jimmy Dore says Bernie is gaslighting you to think he's actually looking into the lack of normal safety studies and vaccines. He's not. If he was, he would invite on doctors that have already looked into these things. But instead, Bernie brings on the establishment tools to repeat establishment propaganda. Bernie is a cuck to the power of the 100th phony. He's there to keep you voting Democrat while supporting the war machine and big pharma. Fuck you, Bernie Sanders, in your lying face. Tell us how you really feel, Jimmy. Tell us how you really feel. Yeah, that was a little shocker about how much he's actually taken. But hey, great news. The future of the Democratic Party is been found, and that would be none other than Lurch himself, Mr. John Fetterman, who couldn't even put pants on for the inauguration. Did you see that shit? Anyways, let's hear about it.
One person that we were talking about that has also tried to ingratiate themselves with the White House, maybe not ingratiate, but has met with them and certainly made the tributes, is John Fetterman, a Democratic senator from Pennsylvania who Trump very much did not want to win that Senate race. You have some reporting on how people are kind of turning to him, or certain Democrats who maybe feel rudderless. What have you heard?
Yeah, it's just that John Fetterman sort of offers like an authentic type of like bro masculinity that matches what Donald Trump was offering this election cycle. Authentic? He's also a moderate from a state that the Democrats lost, and he speaks his mind. He speaks like from off the cuff authentically. He sounds like Donald Trump. He's not willing to buck the party and establishment in the same way that Donald Trump was willing to buck the party and the establishment and create the party in his own way. Sure, the base doesn't really love Fetterman a lot, and I think that's why you hear a lot of conspiracies that he's going to be a Republican. But he just like might be the guy that Democrats need right now when they don't have a unified leader who can just speak plainly in Trump's speak against him. He's the kind of guy who would go on Joe Rogan and really hold his own, and the Democrats don't have that person right now.
Oh my God, no. The best they can find is fucking John Fetterman. The guy who could not even put a sentence together when he was head of the farm bill just 2-3 years ago. Come on, we brought you guys the videos of that shit. Like, what the fuck? Yeah, that's the future of the Democratic Party. That and Miss AOC. The Onion says the DNC is aiming to reconnect with working class Americans with its new Hamilton-inspired Lena Durham web series. Because we all love Lena Durham, right? No. I think Hartman does. Hartman definitely loves her. Of course, that's the Onion. So funny, haha. Bad lip reading or real lip reading? I don't know. You be the judge. You tell me. Is this what Barron Trump really said to Biden on his way out? I think it might be.
Okay, guys, I think I know what Barron says to Biden and to Melania. So when he leans into Biden here, he says, "It's on."
Kind of look like he said it's on.
And then when he goes up to Melania, she says, "Try to be nice." See? And he says, "Okay." And then he turns back and looks back at Biden.
Look at that look where he looks back at Biden. I think he did say it's on. I do absolutely. It's going to be interesting to watch what Barron becomes as he gets older, because he's been raised to be a weapon of the Trumps, right? Breaking, Elon is reportedly furious that people keep calling Tesla vehicles swastikars. Don't do that. No, you can. I don't care either way. Here is Harry Sessions, with some total hypocrisy bullshit, because this guy's never going to go away thanks to Biden paying him off.
My heart goes out to you. My heart
I'm so shocked.
goes out to you. Yes. My heart goes out to you. You said do it every day, all.
What's wrong with you? There are so many mean things I want to say to you right now. So just understand what I say next is very watered down. You guys are so damn strange. You're so weird. You're sitting in your house alone, hailing to try to defend Elon Musk and Donald Trump. Do you not see how sad and pathetic that is? Do you not see how bowing down to Donald Trump and Elon Musk at every opportunity you get is just incredibly weird? No self-awareness whatsoever. If Donald Trump and Elon Musk told MAGA to jump off of a bridge, they'd do it. I mean, they're posting themselves hailing on the internet.
You wouldn't do it
what
for Biden?
won't they do to defend their cult leader? Oh my, it's so strange.
Oh my God. The hypocrisy is so thick. You can't even handle it. Because he didn't lick Biden's ass in every way that he possibly could. It's so strange. Is all I'm going to say about that. And let's see. I drive a Cybertruck and I'm sick of people flipping me off. I wish they understood how helpful this car is to me. We have a couple of them in my town. I don't flip them off, but have at it if you guys see them. Please do your best. And, more from Bill Gates. This is from his in-depth interview he did last week, where he talked about how he had a 3-hour dinner with Trump and he was shocked that him and Trump are on the same page. So he's going to talk about his autism now. So, he knows things. He's not a doctor or a college grad, but he knows things.
Used to be autism had a fairly narrow definition that was, clearly identifiable. But this idea that if you're slow socializing, I have a behavior where I rock that bothers people, but that's also
Junkies
common,
do that too.
So-called self-esteem type thing. So I realized, wow, there's a bit of a pattern match there.
In his upcoming book, Source Code, Bill Gates reveals new details about his childhood, including the realization that were he a kid today, he would be diagnosed on the autism spectrum.
Looking back on that, because I didn't
Don't
behave
ask where the autism's coming from.
in a standard way, and yet, that deep concentration that got applied to math and science and eventually to all those programming experiences I had.
Is he hanging
that
out at
became a
Zorro Ranch?
strength.
Where the hell is he?
A strength that changed the world and made Gates among the richest and most influential leaders of our time.
You because he ripped people off. I'm so sick and tired of pretending that these asshats like Elon Musk and Bill Gates and Mark Zuckerberg created shit and invented shit. They didn't. They ripped people off. They stole it, or they were given it, like Zuckerberg's case. The CIA fucking chose him, handpicked him. But yeah, tell us about the 36 times at Epstein's Island there, Bill, while you're doing your damn interview. Shut the hell up. What is this? Oh, this is the fuck off pie for Monday morning. And this fuck off pie goes out to all the federal workers who are crying about having to actually physically go back to fucking work. There's nothing worse than slacker government workers, and they are slackers. I'm sorry. If you're a government worker, I'm not trying to offend you. I'm just speaking the truth, and you fucking know it. So let's hear.
It happens. What a way to end the week. 5 o'clock on a Friday. Got our notice. Effective March 10th. We're back in the office 5 days a week. No telework.
Oh, you actually have to go to work?
And that's the most fucked up thing, is not only did you issue this executive order, Cheeto, but the executive order trumps, unintended, and rescinds any previously agreed upon telework agreements. So before, I was able to telework once a week when I was in the office every day. Now no mores. I am so upset. I am so mad. And honestly, I also feel for the parents. They're going to need to figure out childcare. They're going to have to commute. So many people don't live in DC and have to drive so far every single day. Like,
oh, cry. Get your real tears out.
This sucks. And the crazy thing is, we've only just begun. We're just getting started on all of this fuckery.
Oh my God. For 5 fucking years, you guys have got to sit home and fucking day drink, do whatever the fuck you want, while all of us plebs have had to fucking drag our asses to fucking work if we still had our fucking job. Fuck all the way off. That's why they're getting the fuck off pie for today. Quit your goddamn crying. And not till March. It sounds like they gave you guys, almost a month fucking cushion to go find childcare and take care of the things that you need to take care of, because we know you're well compensated if you're working for the fucking government. So shut up. It's just like the state workers too. I can't get anybody on the phone at Social Security. They're telling me they're going to kick me off of state aid cash assistance, which is $400, because that'll pay your fucking rent, because I can't get somebody on the phone at Social Security. It's because they're all sitting at home day drinking and refusing to answer the fucking phone. You call, it literally just hangs up on you. It says, sorry, all agents are busy. Try your call again later. I tried my call in the morning. I tried my call in the afternoon. I tried my call all day long, and I cannot get through. So what the fuck am I supposed to do? Yeah, this is just gross. So fuck off. Quit your crying. Quit your crying. You're both just awful. Trump derangement syndrome and Trump worship syndrome. Yeah, 4 more years of this shit. I know. I'm so not looking forward to it. 4 more years of Trump worship hero syndrome and Trump derangement syndrome. And there's just us that are stuck in reality going, you people are fucking insane. That's the reality. And did you guys see the stock market's taking a big old crap this morning? Stock market crash is worse than a divorce. You lose half your money and your wife is still around. Oh, get on with your work. Yeah, that was pretty funny. I gotta say, that was a funny one. Funny. And let's see. Oh, we have for your cop delightment, Pigs of Empire, because this is the Pigs of Empire series. Let's see a cop getting told, fighting over the Constitution and getting schooled.
What's going on, gentlemen?
Hey, officer. Can I get your name and badge number?
Sure can. 337, sir.
Your name?
You don't get my name, sir. By our department and my chief. I don't have to give you my name, only my badge number, 337.
All right.
Fair enough?
Fine. That's how it is. Yep.
Okay. That's how it is, sir.
No problem.
Okay. You are on the roadway, which is against the law, and if you don't live around here, you're loitering and prowling. Are you local?
I'm working on a story. I don't answer questions. I'm a journalist. As you can see, this is probably not.
Do you have any journalist credentials?
Do you have a card on you by chance?
Do you have any journalist credentials?
Oh, I got them. But the First Amendment allows me to walk down a public street.
It sure
As
does.
a matter of fact, I never said a word to anybody.
Okay.
I was quiet.
Okay.
They
that's
started
fine.
engaging me.
Okay. Well, I'm fine with that. But you just said you're a journalist, so I'd like to see some kind of credentials to show you're a journalist.
Well, I don't need to provide that.
Well, you just said you're a journalist.
I am.
Well, I'm a space astronaut.
I don't have to show you credentials. I have a First Amendment right to walk down the street and record.
Now, First Amendment right does not authorize you to walk down the street. First Amendment is freedom of speech, sir.
And it's also freedom of press.
That is the Third Amendment. Second
Third
Amendment.
Amendment is no soldiers in the home.
Now, Second Amendment is
It's the right to bear arms.
Okay, so I'm not going to get in
know.
a debate about amendments with you.
Yeah, I'm not going to get into a debate about amendments with you because I don't even know what the fucking Second Amendment is. As a cop, Popeye's neighbor needs help with their rent. Popeye, check to see if there's a community action program in your area. Sometimes they have money, and if not, Salvation Army a lot of times. But the fucked up thing is you've got to have an eviction notice, which sucks that you have to take yourself all the way to the risk of a 3-day eviction notice to get help from these agencies. But that's the reality of it. That's the best advice I can give you as a poor who's lived there. Let's see. Do you guys see any comparisons here? Isn't it crazy they're wearing damn near the same freaking outfit? Look, the sweater, the shirt underneath. Keep comments all staged. Yeah, so many questions when it comes to the Luigi situation. And you know how we were getting reports from people that were in the same jail? Well, they're all being threatened now. So nobody's even allowed to talk about Luigi, especially the COs that are working with him. So that's why we're not getting much information when it comes to him. Have to wait for the trial, I guess. United Healthcare has lost $63 billion in value since former CEO Brian Thompson's shocking murder. So sad for them. That's just terrible. They got double whammied. What was this one? I don't remember what this one was. Let's just play it. These TikToks, I just don't remember when I put them on here.
Guys, it's not just China. It's the rest of the world. The world. Like, do you understand that everyone in the world is figuring out that they've also been lied to about what we're dealing with here? And that we're the great, like, just wait until you hear the comments that I've been getting from the rest of the world. Okay, ready? Here we go. From Brazil, our private hospitals are much cheaper than theirs when they have insurance. They have to pay for things like holding their baby after birth. Yes,
yeah, you do. You got to pay to hold your baby.
There is their charge on our hospital bill. In Brazil, we have free health care and medication as well as universities. And we get 1 month of paid vacation from our companies. New Yorker here, born and raised and moved to the Netherlands, spent 7 weeks in the ICU, spent $300, was fed steak, salmon, veggies. The nurse came to me with an iPad menu. My kids have great daycare and school. I'm from Mexico. I lived 14 years in the USA. Is the truth that you don't have a life, you just work to live? I returned to Mexico and I'm 100% better. What? You pay for an ambulance? Damn. Love from Denmark. In Sweden, you only pay $140 for hospital bills. Once you've paid up to $140,
Socialism.
It's totally free to go to the hospital. School and college is free, and they even pay you every month without you having to pay back.
Fucking socialism.
Our ambulance services cost about $100 US here in Canada, and it pisses me off because everything else is free, and you shouldn't even have to pay anything when you're in a health emergency. Come here for 1 weekend. Go to the hospital. See what that's going to cost you.
Yes, $1,000.
I had my appendix removed in Belize, and with 4 days in the hospital, it cost me $37 for everything. Surgery, aftercare, medicine, meals, stay for 4 days, all of it.
Wow.
In most of Latin America, healthcare is free and education is even at the university level. But they are the developed ones with a laughing face, like, at us. The rest of the world, LATAM and Europe, watching as only the Americans actually did not know about these things and that they were not joking.
We knew.
They're laughing at us because we didn't know any of this.
But we did know. We've been telling you, especially those of us who have been fighting for Medicare for all, universal health care for freaking years. I've been on that bandwagon for over 10 years, 11 years now. We've been telling you that we have the worst healthcare system in the fucking world. And, we all know it. So, yeah, they're laughing at us. Did you guys see this? I actually had to do some research into this because I didn't fucking believe it. How could this be the largest outbreak in recorded history? So, Kansas tuberculosis outbreak is now America's largest in recorded history. Yeah, so ongoing tuberculosis outbreak in Kansas has become the largest in recorded history in the United States. I want to say there's 66 cases of tuberculosis. Yeah, that's kind of fucking scary. Consumption. Definitely not anything I want to be dealing with right now. I don't even know what to think about this. I'm kind of speechless about this one. Anyways, if we could all stop listening to people who try to kill us, that would be great. Yeah, it would be great. And a society that keeps cures a secret so they can continue to sell medications for huge profits is not a real society, but a huge mental asylum. Dr. Saib. And remember, they're not killing the ducks, the seagulls, the eagles, or the quails. Strangely, bird flu only affects chickens, cows, and humans. Yeah, that one's kind of weird to me, right? If we were at such risk of bird flu, wouldn't they be killing all the pigeons and, seagulls and the crows? But no, it's just your chickens that you're eating. That just seemed weird. And this one, whole Washington this morning. If you're in Washington State, whole Washington is going to testify on a couple of different bills that they have before the hearings on the 30th. You can go on to the Capitol website and you can sign up to testify if you would like. You can check out all of these bills. So SJM 8004 or SB 5233, SB 5243, or the one I already told you. I've done this before. I've actually gone and testified, and the problem is these committees that are hearing the testimonies down at the Capitol of Washington, Olympia, they're paid off. They're 100% paid by Big Pharma and Big Insurance. And so your testimony is falling on deaf ears, but it is good to get it on the record. And I am so proud of whole Washington for staying in the fight, continuing the fight. Just because I stopped volunteering my time and energy doesn't mean that I gave up the fight for universal health care. I just know the reality of the monster that we're fighting, and I just don't have the energy to fight it anymore. But I hope others will. Thank goodness Washington State banned plastic straws. Oh, it's a good thing. And pills and surgery versus lifestyle change. Can I tell you guys, I haven't talked to anybody, not one person in all of the doctors that I've been to, all of the nurses, all of the, and I've been to a lot in the last 6 months, about fucking nutrition. I told them I would like to see a nutritionist. I've done a shit ton of studying on my own. Y'all have sent me some really insightful books. Chris Beats Cancer. Natalie, thank you so much for everything that you've sent over for me to read on nutrition and not feeding cancer, starving cancer out. But never once has my doctors ever even fucking mentioned nutrition to me. Never once. Never once. Seems kind of odd, doesn't it? It does. Anyways, which lecture would you like to attend? Einstein, Tesla, Marie Curie, or Hawking? I'm going with Tesla. What do you guys think? Who are you guys picking? Yeah, I would be scared if I lived in Kansas too, Solar Moon. Holy shit, that is super scary. Nobody wants consumption. Who you guys picking? Let me know in the chat. Tesla's the only one there that I would actually give a shit to see, right? I mean, Einstein might be my second, but definitely not Hawking, right? Sugar is a magical third rail. Yeah, I stay the fuck away from sugar. I give myself a treat every now and then. I crave root beer floats, so that once a month I might have a root beer float. Einstein and Tesla. Yeah, I agree. Tesla, right? Poor Tesla. They did him so fucking dirty. What's his name over there at GE? Did him so freaking dirty. did you guys see Brazil? This is a beach in Brazil this weekend. I cannot wait for this planet to shake us off like the fucking fleas that we are. Look at this nastiness. Look at that beach. Fuck humans. Oh, not to mention the military helicopter. That is just gross. We are such a plague on this planet. Cancer. We are cancer. Oh, that is so gross. That is absolutely gross. I'm trying to keep up with your guys' chats. Einstein, Tesla. Tesla was a communist too. Absolutely, he was. And that's why they stole all his fucking work. And this one, have you guys looked up in the sky lately? They're still chemtrailing the crap out of us. I watched the sunrise the other morning because I was at the hospital with cold fusion, and beautiful sunrise, beautiful pinks and purples and oranges, and then big old freaking chemtrail right through the middle of it. It's so sad.
Mr. President, I understand that you're very busy, but if you could do something about this.
Please.
Maybe add it to your list.
Please. I would love to see Trump do something about that. God, it would be so nice. Please do. We made it to Conspiracy Corner. What do we got in the Conspiracy Corner? Did y'all see this shit yesterday? Yeah, my tinfoil hat is getting bigger and more stylish. It definitely is. This got picked up on GPS. This like Google Maps and shit was seeing this. So this was downtown LA yesterday in the burned out fire. And traffic. Somebody is talking about how there's traffic victims, and when you look, there's a rail yard right next door to where they're probably shuttling them in and out. This is just a conspiracy, but crazy that it could be picked up from satellite. Yeah, and it pretty much says federals. It says federalos, and then it says traffic, and then it says help. So somebody was trying to warn about the trafficking. We know we have a trafficking problem. I knew it way before I ever got into politics because of a local immigration group actually was talking to me about how our small little town of Forks, that was their biggest problem was the amount of trafficking that was going on there. And I was just floored. This was like in 2012 or something. I was like, no way. No, really? So, yeah, we have a traffico problem. It's a taco problem right here. Yeah, Hollywood, go fuck yourself. Let's see. What do we got in here? How bad is it? They still know you're gay. Oh, yeah. The whole Jennifer Aniston had an affair with Barack Obama. Does anybody believe that shit? No. Nobody believes that. There has never been one woman that has ever came forward and said they had an affair with Barack Obama. But there has been men who have come forward. Remember Tucker interviewed him. That was a great interview from Tucker. And I absolutely believe that guy. What was his name? Larry something? Anyways, me, Beyonce, the music industry. Yes. Why is Beyonce shoved down our fucking throats? I can't stand her. Who's ever listened to her music? Not me, man. I don't get that one. I really don't. And Mel Gibson taking a ration of shit for something he said yesterday about Daddy Trump taking his belt off. Did you guys know? I mean, Mel Gibson was once named by the World Economic Forum as a representative. What? I did not know that. Okay, let's hear what he had to say. What did he say?
They're a good bunch out here. I'm glad Trump's here at the moment. It's like Daddy arrived and he's taking his belt off. So I think.
Yeah, we never liked it when Dad was coming home and taking his belt off, right? My mom would say, "You wait till Dad gets home; he's gonna frickin' give you the belt." Apparently, he's the unofficial Hollywood frickin' liaison for Trump now. I don't even know what the fuck. Anyways, stop listening to these guys. Yeah, sometimes Mel says some things that I agree with, but for the most part, he's just a Hollywood actor and whatever. And let's see, Russell Brand. I'm not in the Illuminati. It's just a tattoo. Of course, Russell. We know. And we finally made it to Meme Alley. Wow, we're going to get out of here on time this morning. That's good. I'm a little tired. I didn't sleep very good. I miss clubbing in the 90s. Aw, Tanya, me too. I actually watched that I, Tanya, a couple of weeks ago. It was okay. We lived it. We were there for it. We really enjoyed ice skating a lot more in the 90s. Why is that? It seems like I never see it anymore anywhere on TV, other than when Oz brings it for A Beauty and the Boomer. Worrying does not take away tomorrow's troubles. It takes away today's peace. I am really having to make peace with this and live by this. Life is short, and I'm really grasping that. And I don't want to waste my little bit of time that I have left wasting it on worrying about shit, worrying about paying my bills, and worrying about, the government and taxes and, the everyday shit that we worry about. So I'm trying to, that is one of my resolutions this year, be more peaceful and just let it fucking go. I mean, it'll be what it'll be. If I end up sleeping in the back of my car, thank God I have a car, right? Don't sit so close to the TV. You'll hurt your eyes 40 years later. Just drop that fucking TV right on your face. Yeah, that's what we've done. And no thanks, McDonald's. I'll just have nuggets. Try the new the new anus pounder. No, thank you. No, I won't even have the nuggets. I don't want anything from McDonald's, period. Gross. And Disney gave me the impression that I would be getting twirled romantically a lot more often. That's true. That's true. Where's my fucking twirls? I want twirled. Twirled on the beach. Twirled on the ballroom floor. Come on, Disney. Yes, yeah, you fucked with me. Don't let those who cannot see convince you that you are hallucinating. Yes, that just live in your truth, know the truth, know that you know better than they do. And mind your business. I need eggs. yeah, no doubt. Oh my God. I am cherishing my eggs. Like, I bought a dozen eggs a week and a half ago. Normally I'll eat like an egg in the morning, just, a little bit of protein. And, I literally had a dream that my kids were little and they knocked the eggs out of the fridge on the floor. And I was just devastated. Like, no, don't break the eggs. That's how bad it is getting. The circle around the keg. Oh, I know a bunch of you guys can relate to this one. So there was always something about standing around the keg with a red Solo cup in your hand, laughing with friends, and feeling like time could stand still. Keg parties in the 80s were simple. No need for fancy setups, just good tunes, cold beer, and best company you could ask for. That is so true. We were so spoiled. It was so simple and so happy. Just give us a keg. We didn't even have to do keg stands back then, right? A keg in a field. That's all we cared about. A keg in a lake was even better. The Gulf of Margaritaville. That's what I'm going to call it from now on. Margaritaville. I went and saw Jimmy Buffett in New Orleans once, Jazz Fest, and it was so funny because these older folks in front of us were like, "I think those kids are smoking reefer." You're at a fucking Jimmy Buffett concert. Of course we were smoking reefer. Like, what? What are you doing here? Too funny. And I thought this was cute. What kind of snowman is that? What kind of snowman is that? That's fancy. I think he's from down south. Yes, it is Mardi Gras season in New Orleans. I'm loving watching all of my friends and the groups that I follow down there post all their Mardi Gras decorations. It really is awesome to have a holiday between Christmas, New Year's, and Valentine's Day. It really is. It gives you something. It lifts your spirits. We all get that seasonal depression because you take down the lights and you take down the decorations. That doesn't happen in the South, or especially in Louisiana, because they get their Mardi Gras lights up. They get their Mardi Gras decorations going. Some of them have Mardi Gras trees. And the thing is Mardi Gras is not just a parade that goes down Bourbon Street and into the French Quarter. It is literally a month-long celebration where every small town in Louisiana has some kind of Mardi Gras parade and get together. That's the one thing about the South, man. They throw community parties. We don't do that in the North. We don't know our neighbors. We don't care to know our neighbors. Down South, you do. And that right there, ladies and gentlemen, is a real bowl of gumbo. I would give anything for a real bowl of gumbo. I mean, I can make it, but you absolutely put the potato salad in the gumbo. That is the true way to eat gumbo. So I'm trying to manifest a trip to the South, if you can't tell. Well, this is awkward. We got Neptune, Uranus, Saturn, Jupiter, Mars, and Flat Earth, and, Venus, and Mercury. I actually saw Mars the other day. Mars was pretty damn close when I was out in the middle of the night, looking very close and very glowing. But I just thought this was funny because, God, that's just crazy. Do some of you guys believe in the flat earth? Let me know if you believe in the flat earth. I'm not really trying to make fun of you guys, but out of all the conspiracies that I buy into, I cannot get on board with flat earth. I'm sorry. I've tried. I've absolutely tried. And I have been sat down by some people and explained flat earth, and I still can't get on board. So let me know if you're on board. Maybe you have some information that I don't. Who remembers back in the day, this is how we kept ourselves entertained at school, drawing on the original Peaches. I loved it. Yeah, planets are super bright right now. Yes, Jilly, they are. They're insane, and they're in a line. Like, they're all lined up out there. Yeah. And who remembers the Avon lipstick samples? Oh my gosh, I lived for those. Mom would order some Avon. There'd always be a couple of these thrown in the bottom of the bag. They were the best. I loved them. Hollow Earth makes more sense to me. I agree, Mastermind. I agree. I do buy into the Hollow Earth thing. Like, there might be something going on up there in Antarctica. I mean, we hear about, Bird went up there and he saw a whole different land. Like, yeah, I buy into that. Somehow I don't think your audience includes flat earthers, Shanda. Thank you, Wesley. I hope not. I really hope not. That's more of the Trump crowd, right? I think it is. It's the Christian Trump crowd that really buys the flat earthers. Not saying that I'm not bagging on Christians. You guys know I consider myself I don't know. I don't know what I consider myself anymore. But anyways, backing into spaces like this, even though there is a backup camera, because we got our driver's license in the 80s. Yes. I've had backup cameras in a couple of different cars, rentals and shit. Like, who actually looks at the thing? I mean, if I'm in a tight spot, yeah, I would look at it. But for the most part, no, I'm doing it the old fashioned way. Let's see. My great grandma made some fantastic gumbo and jambalaya. Yes. Oh my gosh. I can make both. I can. I can see American parents yelling at their kids to don't drop a super expensive egg. Yeah, right. Yeah, totally. Mom was an Avon lady. I always played with the samples. It would piss her off. My mom did Mary Kay, and we were not allowed to touch her Mary Kay case. And I remember maybe 20 years later, it was still in her closet to make us all clumped and old and smelly. Like, love some good gumbo. My problem is we can't find roux mix, the roux. Like, you can buy jarred roux down south. Like, that's how everybody makes it. I mean, some people make their own homemade roux. So up here, I have to make homemade roux if I want a good gumbo. So that kind of sucks because I'm not very good at it. I'd rather just have a jar of it. There's a lot of things you can't get up here. I wonder if I could order it on Amazon. I'll bet you I could. Anyways, you guys have been great today. Let's see. How are things? Don't be weird. The word mortgage means a death pledge. Oh, it does? Wow, that makes a lot of sense to me. So yeah, go pay your death pledge and pretend like you own it. And let's see. There are two means of refuge from misery of life. That is music and cats. Albert Schweitzer. Yes, music and cats. I agree. Those are my kind of go-tos too. What do you think, Natalie? Definitely the cats, right? And you made it through November 16th through January 22nd, winter solstice, the 10 darkest weeks of the year. Yay! We made it through the 10 darkest weeks of the year. I'm so ready for it to be over with. I want to go out and play in my garden, in my yard, and get starts going and just feel the sun on my face and get some vitamin D. I don't know about you. Ate some fried alligator while listening to live Cajun music. I have had some fried alligator in my life too. tasted like chicken. It was a little greasy. I don't know. It wasn't my thing. Cats are dicks. That's why I love them. I love an ornery damn cat, right? Because then I have the challenge of taming him. I guess Al didn't have to empty the litter box. Yeah. Alligator is tasty. Yeah, some people think that for sure. The one thing I wouldn't eat when we were down south was squirrel. They eat a lot of squirrel. I was like, no, they're too cute. I can't eat a squirrel. Nutri-Rat. They eat some Nutri-Rat down south, right? A lot of fish, a lot of muddy, like, the catfish and striped fish, shit like that. One of my friends, a local DJ, Creole chef, rural Louisiana, who makes amazing gumbo. Yes, I would love some gumbo right now. I think they've thawed out down there. If I've seen the posts right, I think the snow is gone. Okay, guys, I think we are close to out of here. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today. I can't believe how many of you hung out, even though Pasta was on. No Beauty of the Boomer on Saturday. Oz and I both have doctor's appointments on Friday. Please send your love and support over to Oz. This is going to be a rough one. Fingers crossed it's all going to come back good. And we won't have even more, more bad news than what we've already had in the last year. So if you guys want to help me out, lung cancer awareness, you guys know my GoFundMe link is in the description box. Every dime you give me is helping to keep me alive and get me what I need. I am healing up. Natalie, the cream you sent me for my radiation burn is working very well. You can kind of see it right here. See, that's where they burned me pretty good. But thank you guys so much. I can't thank you guys enough every day. And the whole reason I'm sitting here doing shows now is because you guys got me this well. So thank you guys so much. Anyways, Joey's Coffee. You can get some Joey's Coffee. I had some Joey's Coffee this week. It's so good. Reach out to Oz or me, and we will get you hooked up with an order. And I got a great closer. Oz engineered it again for us this morning. Whipping post, because god dang, sometimes I feel like we've been tied to the whipping post. And this week has definitely been one of those weeks. So I want you guys to have a great rest of your week. I will see you guys next Monday. And then Oz and I will return with Beauty and the Boomer right after that. Like the 8th, I think, is when we're coming back. So we will see you guys then. So have a great week. And remember, you're always welcome at the trailer park.
I've been lied to. I don't know why. like I'm dying.